Feeling good, feeling great, yeah. Feeling good, feeling great. We're hanging, hanging with her. We're hanging. Welcome to the show. We're hanging, hanging with her. We're hanging.
Hello, I'm Frank Thomas, and this is Hangin' with Hurt, where I go one-on-one with the best in sports and entertainment. Today's guest was one of the greatest college basketball players of all time. Jimmy Jackson was a two-time first-team All-American and twice was the Big Ten Player of the Year at Ohio State. The Ohio native went onto a 14-year NBA career after being drafted 4th overall by the Dallas Mavericks in 1992. And he will be inducted into the National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame later this year. He's one of the top analysts in basketball. It's Jimmy Jackson on this edition of Hangin' with Hurt. Ladies and gentlemen, we got one of the greatest players to ever play at Ohio State University. What did that time mean to you in Ohio, especially being an Ohio native?
You know what's funny, man? I never wanted to go to Ohio State. Never wanted to go.
Wow.
Because I grew up a Big East fan. Syracuse, Georgetown, back in the day, St. John, when it was rolling. And Ohio State, actually, they were good back in the early 80s with Clark Kellogg and that crew, Calvin Ramsey and Herb Williams and Carter Scott, those guys. But I never really followed them because they, when I got in high school in 86, they weren't that relevant. It was still Big East or ACC. But Gary Williams came in and kind of rejuvenated the program. A guy from our hometown, Dennis Hobson, was then rolling for Ohio State, became the second leading scorer, got drafted by the Nets, number 2, I think. So that got me interested in Ohio State. Finally ended up going, which was the best decision of my life, by staying home and going and being a part of something organic where we grew the program, won Big Ten titles, made it further in the tournament. And, I'll be honest with you, bro. Fortunately for us, football had their down years, which is unfortunate for my guys that play football, but it helped kind of keep the light on basketball. Because, as you know, you went to a football school. You go to a football school, it's all about that. Right. And we were able to capture the excitement, the intrigue, the drama of a lot of our fans at Ohio State, being that we were, we built something, we were successful. So long term, being Ohio State alumni, being a part of something special, bro, paid so many dividends and met so many great people. So it'll always be a part of me. Well, you're a legend there, and you had your jersey number 22 retired. What has that experience been like every time you go back to campus, knowing your number's in the rafters? Well, you know how it is, man. You're a Hall of Famer. So you don't go into the game, and I'm not, fortunate to be in that category with you, but you don't go into it thinking, okay, I'm going to, be a Hall of Famer. I'll have my jersey hanging. You just go do your job. There's the best that you can do. And fortunately for the both of us, we were able to win. We were around great teammates. And not having that, I think, will take away from the ultimate success you have as a team and, more importantly, as individuals. So when I see it, I think about the times that we had, and I was fortunate to have some outstanding teammates, coaches, managers, staff behind me or with me that allowed me to perform at a high level, because I couldn't have did it without them. 1992, you were drafted 4th overall in the same draft as Shaquille O'Neal and Alonzo Mourning. Being drafted number 4 in that draft is an amazing feat. What was that feeling like when David Stern called you number 4? Oh, it was to be. What's weird, man, is that when I started playing the game, it wasn't I got to be in the pros. I just wanted to go so my parents wouldn't have to pay for college. You know what I mean? I thought about and I watched it, but as I got older, playing in the NBA became more relevant, more achievable, and building up to the draft, I kind of knew I could go anywhere between 2 and 4. Everybody knew Shaquille was going first. It wasn't even a question. You know what I mean? Right. But it was still in the air what Minnesota was going to do, what Miami was going to do, what I thought. But when you're sitting in the green room, and you finally hear your name being called, it's this wave of emotion that's just really hard to explain. I mean, it's almost like, man, everything I worked hard for, it finally paid off. Now, that's just the beginning, because you just get your name called. Now you got to go perform. But, man, whenever I see pictures of that, Frank, my parents at the time, the people that were in the room, it's just one of those, you know, those one of those moments in life that will always be, I think, the pinnacle of success in regards to what you've done. That, you know, you can, that lives on as well.
Let me ask you something. You said something earlier about Ohio State. Did it hurt you going to a football town like the Dallas area with basketball in 1992?
You know what? I mean, again, Dallas wasn't that good. Kind of like I'm starting all over again, like with Ohio State.
Right.
I didn't care really because I got drafted.
Right.
And you know, when you're young in your mind, you'd be like, oh, I can have an impact. I can help winning. I can help this, all this stuff. Okay. I mean, little did I know that I was going to have contract issues. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to take you there. I'm not going to take you there. I'm going to leave that alone. But it was crazy.
You can take me there because, you know why? Because it was a part of the business.
Exactly.
So I'm on this high, drafted, number 4, go in and meet, and then all of a sudden, because the current ownership didn't have success, I'm holding out the fight for my career, to get the contract that I deserve as far as market value. So I go from this high to now to this low where I'm fighting for all of this just to play the game and get my money.
Well, when you entered the league, it was in 1992 when the Bulls started their dynasty. And you, as a young superstar, how was it competing against Michael Jordan and Scotty Pippen at the time?
Bro, let me tell you this. When I finally got a chance to play against them, it was real talk. I was in Dallas, of course. We played them at home. And I get on the court, and I know Mike because Ron Harper was a good friend of mine. So when I was in Dallas, let me take that back. 93, when I was in Dallas on the back end, when Ron played, I would go to the playoff games with him. Okay. That's when I realized it was 2 NBA, the one I played in and the one they were in. It was just totally different. That people don't understand. You know it because you were there. People don't understand how big Bulls were. Yeah. Because you didn't have social media, you didn't have all these outlets, so you knew the players, but you really didn't know the player. So it was this aura about Michael and the Pip and the Bulls. When they came to town, it was just like rock star status. Yeah. So the first time I got a chance to play against Mike, I swear, man, it was like me and him just on the court, nobody else. Crowd, nobody. Surreal at that point because this was Mike. You know what I mean? Now, once we start competing, that went away. But that initial part of it, you know, when Mike comes, puts the powder on, you know, gives you the pound, tap his feet, you're just like, man, wasn't I just watching this on TV the other day or watching videos of this?
And now you want to check him.
Yeah, now I'm checking him. He was different. Right. He sucked the gravity out of the room, the oxygen out of the room when he came in because he was just Mike. Right. Oh, man. I'm real, bro.
I'll have plenty more with Jimmy Jackson. But before we go to break, let's go out to see my guy, Mr. Gatsby, and see what he's up to this week.
Hey, everyone. I could listen to old MJ stories all day with Frank and Jimmy. When we return, we'll get Jimmy's thoughts on who wins an up-for-grabs NBA title. Plus, the Ohio State legend praises new Bears quarterback Justin Fields. Next on Hangin' with Hurt.
Hangin' with Hurt is sponsored by Gold Rush Gaming.
Frank Thomas, the big hurt in my car.
Yes.
NUGENIX Total T. It's the real deal, right?
Yeah. When I turned 40, like you said, I started to feel run down on account of
because of
your free testosterone levels drop.
Yep.
So what did I do?
I hope you tried NUGENIX. Started with a complimentary bottle, and what a difference.
To get your complimentary bottle of NUGENIX Total T, text SPRINT to 231231. This unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help increase testosterone levels so you can trim up and stay lean.
Thanks to you and NUGENIX, I feel like my old self again.
That's great, man. And you know what else?
Oh, yeah, she'll like it too.
Oh, that's my line.
Get your complimentary bottle of NUGENIX now. Text SPRINT to 231231. Text now and we'll include a bottle of NUGENIX Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you get back in shape fast. Absolutely free. That's SPRINT to 231231.
Don't take a chance on another gaming company. At Gold Rush Gaming, we offer the highest quality of service and games in the video gaming industry, with unparalleled dedication and proven gaming knowledge. We are here to help you make your business successful. We provide the most efficient service possible, in addition to offering the newest games and upgrades as they become available to the market. You're always dealt a winning hand with Gold Rush Gaming. Reach out today and see what a difference the gold standard can make.
Here's what it takes to make the world's finest golf clubs. Unlimited time, money, passion. Start early, stay late, dream big, lose sleep, lose patience, never lose focus. Ignore what's been done before, ignore the haters, overanalyze, overagonize, never accept good enough until forgiveness, performance, and feel are absolutely amazing. BXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
This segment of Hangin' with Hurt is brought to you by NUGENIX.
Welcome back to Hangin' with Hurt. Time now for my favorite segment, What If? I asked Jimmy Jackson, what if he could create his own big three to play with him in today's NBA? Who would he choose?
Oh, bro, come on, man.
It's what if. It's what if.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, if I had to pick two, it'd be LeBron and KD. The versatility across the board. I mean, one of the best scorers that ever played a game. You know what's funny thing about LeBron? He's from Ohio, of course, so you got to rep that. But LeBron's first mindset is to pass, right? He's going to end up being the all-time leading scorer probably in the NBA if he continues on this pace, which is crazy.
Right.
Because you don't think in your mind scoring. You think about all the other attributes. That just tells you how good he is.
Right.
That he's going to end up being probably the all-time leading scorer.
Okay.
Crazy.
Let me ask you something. At the end of your career, you were fortunate enough to play with the great Kobe Bryant, who we lost this year.
Mm-hmm.
How was that experience? Because I've heard so many stories that, he was a monster in practice. It was hard because he wanted to win so badly. You got to experience that. Could you tell us a piece of that experience?
Let me ask you a question. Who was the most competitive person you played with? Besides yourself.
Wow.
You don't count. You big dog. You don't count. What is it? And now they don't have to be the superstar or the
right.
Was it? Huh?
I think you know what? That's a funny question. I think it's going to be the smallest man on the field. It was Joey Cora. He lived and slept baseball every day. The first one at the ballpark, ready to win every day, ready to do every drill every day. It was crazy. He never took a day off. So I would say Joey Cora.
And he was always competitive just in practice and everything, right?
Everything.
That's Kobe.
Okay.
With the superstar Hall of Fame talent. And not that Cora didn't. He may have his limitations, but that was – now, I caught him on the back end of my career, and one thing about him – well, there's a lot of things about him. He didn't care – hurt, tired, it didn't matter. It just didn't matter. Now, by the time I got to the Lakers, it was later in the season in 2006, so we weren't practicing as much. So he was taking care of his body more so getting prepared for the end of the season and the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you can just tell and see his mind always working about what he needed to do. And we had an opportunity and a chance, because I was older, that it's funny that we would go out night before the game to eat. He loved steak, so different places and cities we would go to. And it would just be he and I, and he had bodyguards. So one time his bodyguard said, Jimmy, Kobe really doesn't do this. I said, do what? Hang out, to go out to eat with his teammates. And I'm not saying I'm special. Like, we had this great bond. It was, we just connected for the time I was there a little bit. And I got to know him outside of the uniform.
Okay.
You know what I mean? A lot more. The conversations we had, the time that we were able to spend, again, albeit it was brief, had a brief cup of coffee there in LA, but having the opportunity to spend a little bit of time to get to know him and to what drove him to be the player that he ultimately would become, Because I've met him at the age of 18 when he first got out here to LA.
Right.
Okay. And to watch all of that, and then for me at the end of my career, to be able to spend that, I think that valuable time with him is something that I treasure and I'll never forget.
I'm going to look at the NBA right now. I'm getting right at it. Who looks like the team that's destined to win this NBA championship this year?
But looks can be deceiving, Frank. You know that.
Right.
I mean, because if you look at Brooklyn, now we haven't had a chance to get a heavy dose of what the Brooklyn Nets will look like healthy. Because James Harden, Kyrie, and KD, they only played 7 games together. So we don't know what that formula, that math equals out to.
Okay.
We can imagine, but we don't know. Philly, I think we know who they are. Milwaukee actually in the East is a lot better. And it might be that this year for them not being a number 1 seed, it takes some of the pressure off of them, okay? Those are the top 3 in the East, and you're like, okay. Now in the West, unfortunate what happened with Denver with Jamal Murray. That took kind of the sail out of the wind. I mean, the wind out of the sail a little bit. But they're playing extremely great basketball. I don't know if they're a championship contending team without him, though. They'll make him competitive. Right. The Clippers, Utah's still there. I mean, it's right now. But I'm gonna say this, Frank. This is what the NBA wanted.
Okay.
End of the year, all this drama and intrigue. When Golden State and LeBron was in Cleveland, you knew who was going to the final. You don't know this year. And that's the beauty of whether people like to play in tournament or not. At the end of the year now, it's so many questions on who can win it, and that's the drama.
Well, I want to stay right there because we know the king, LeBron James, he's very critical of this play-in. And I understand that because ever since he's been in the NBA, he's always been deep into the playoffs, to the finals, and it takes a toll on your body.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this play-in as an analyst?
Okay, it's two-pronged. From the business side, I get it, okay, because it's working. It's working from the business side because let's take an example. The Washington Wizards, they had about 11 games left. They were in 12th place. 5 games out of 8th place. Normally, they would take it in, or not take it in, but they knew they couldn't make up those 5 games in order to get to the 8th spot to be in the playoff. But because they were only a game out of 10 to be in the playing game, they went at it. So it works. You don't want to be, if you're in 6, you're playing so you don't have to drop to 7.
Okay.
So you're not resting guy. And if you're 7 and 8, you're trying to play to get to 6. So all of this stuff is going on. So I get it from a business perspective. Now here's the pushback. If you're the 7th place team and all year, 72 games, you put in the work and you separated yourself from the pack a little bit, why should it be that I still got to play the 8th place team in order to get into the playoffs when I improved over the course of 72 games that we're the better team at this point? So that's the dilemma from a player,
right,
and the team that I look at, but from the overall NBA, that's that dynamic that's going on right now.
As you know, the Chicago Bears have taken
Justin Fields, baby.
Mr. Justin Fields is our new quarterback. Traded up to get him 10th pick. The town is buzzing here in Chicago about Justin. You got to see him a lot. What do you think of what he can bring to the Chicago Bears?
Well, here's the thing, too, and you know this about football. For a rookie quarterback, it takes time to learn and understand what the NFL is all about, the mental aspect. At Ohio State, coverages were different, defenses were different, things were scripted differently. In the pros, and I guess it's catch-22 because depending on what happens when he comes in, because of Andy Dalton and more experienced quarterbacks, he'll have a chance to learn right away. So it's not like he's going to be thrown, I don't think, right into the fire, which is always tough for a rookie quarterback. I don't care who they are. But the little intangibles, I don't think people understand the IQ in which he plays with. Because we saw the athleticism, we saw the arm, but the IQ in regards to reading defenses, understanding time and score, directing traffic as a quarterback, those are the intangibles I think that are going to make him successful. Now, also, too, this, being in Chicago and inclement weather, they knew he had a strong enough arm to be able to play in November and December when the wind is howling right there off the lake. So all those little things, and he's a big boy too.
Right.
So all those little things, I think for me, I'm excited to see how he starts and how they actually groom him to be that starting quarterback.
Okay.
Whenever that, maybe that's midway through the season, maybe that's the second or third game, we don't know. But I believe he'll be ready for the call whenever it happens.
There's plenty of excitement coast to coast for Bears quarterback Justin Fields. There's still more to come on this edition of Hangin' with Hurt. For what's next, let's send it over to my main man, Frank.
Thanks, Mr. Gaspy. We'll see you on the next episode. When we return, we'll circle the bases with Jimmy Jackson and discuss what it will mean to be enshrined into the College Basketball Hall of Fame.
Hangin' with Hurt is brought to you in part by PXG.
Can you believe this? Doug Flutie and Frank Thomas. You guys look great. Once I turn 40...
Let me guess, less energy?
Less drive?
Definitely.
It's not your fault. It happens to every man. Testosterone levels drop as you age.
Happened to you guys?
Yep.
So what did you do?
We got NUGENIX Total T.
To get your complimentary bottle of NUGENIX Total T, text SPRINT to 321321. This unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help increase testosterone levels.
That does it. I gotta get NUGENIX.
Just send a text for a complimentary bottle. And by the way, she'll like it too.
Get your complimentary bottle of NUGENIX now. Text SPRINT to 321321. Text now and we'll include a bottle of NUGENIX Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you get back in shape fast, absolutely free. That's SPRINT to 321321.
PXG's world-class golf clubs are made for players of every skill level and budget. And now, even better news. We just made PXG for Heroes special pricing sharper than ever. And because Heroes are everywhere, everybody gets special pricing on most products. So what are you waiting for? Call us or visit PXG.com and take your game to a whole new level. If that's not fun, tell me what is, baby. PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Hi, I'm Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. As a 20-year former pro athlete, I've had 6 sport-related surgeries. Believe me, I know pain. Through the years, I've tried every possible remedy with little results. 50 million Americans suffer from pain every day. Well, now you don't have to suffer anymore. It's a new pain relief product that is made with natural hemp extract and profoundly effective. Ecoderm, the Big Hurt Pain Cream.
To order Ecoderm, go to ecosciences.com or call 888-578-0012.
It's time for our final segment, Circling the Bases. Jimmy Jackson was one of the greatest college basketball players of his time. He will be inducted into the College Basketball Hall of Fame later this year. I asked Jimmy, what does his honor mean to him?
You know, we all got egos, bro. You got to have an ego to play this game. And over the years, you know, I looked at my accomplishments, what I've been able to do in college, and say, you know, am I deserving? You ask yourself that question when you see the classes come in. You know how it is when when your name was on the ballot for the Hall of Fame. And I've been out of college, bro, since '92. So it's just been 30 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
But when I got the call, out of nowhere, I didn't have a clue. It wasn't even in the forefront of my mind about being in the Hall of Fame at all. I just figured it wasn't going to happen a long time ago. But when it did happen, I was just like, it was just another one of those moments in life where you go back to when you first start playing the game, whatever game it was, and say, in order for me to be the best at what I got to dedicate my mind, my body, and soul to what I need to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it goes back to those times when, Frank, you know, it is when you wanted to quit, you got hurt, you weren't successful, you questioned yourself, you questioned why you're doing it, all these things, but yet and still you got up, took care of your business, and you went to work. You know what I mean? When nobody was there.
Of course.
And then eventually it ends up paying off at some point. Not always with the culmination of a Hall of Fame, but maybe you're able to take care of your family, your friends, you do things, you meet important people, you change the way they view African Americans as professional athletes, whatever it is, it ends up paying off. So having the Hall of Fame behind you is a, what's the word I want to use? Probably it caps off and is very monumental into, I think, longevity of who we are as players, because we'll always be remembered at some aspect, and our families will be too.
Mm-hmm.
The legacy part of it will always live on because of that.
Okay.
And again, we didn't go into the game thinking of that, but because of how we're made up and the success we were able to have with our team or our teams allows us now to kind of be rewarded for those accomplishments.
Well, Jimmy, I just want to say, first and foremost, thanks for being a good friend. Second of all, you had a hell of an NCAA career, hell of an NBA career. But right now, I see you having a bigger career as a sports analyst. You're very great watch every night. I watch you a lot. And I want to wish you the best, man. And continue doing and staying up because you're one of the most positive people I've ever been around. Love hanging out with you. Thanks for coming out with Hangin with Hurt. And I appreciate you as a friend. Thank you, my friend.
Come on, brother. Anytime, bro.
Thanks for coming
Anytime.
on.
And great and success on everything you've been doing too, bro.
Thank you.
I mean, the Fox stuff and this right here, it just fits you right here.
Well, we'll stay
Don't forget about your boy when you blow up too.
No.
Don't forget about your boy when you blow up.
Well, Jimmy certainly knows how to make me laugh. I thank Jimmy, and I thank all of you for watching. I'm Frank Thomas, your host, and we'll see you next time. For the latest on Hangin with Hurt and for future episodes, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Hangin with Hurt.
We're feeling good, like we knew we would. Feeling good.
Don't take a chance on another gaming company. At Gold Rush Gaming, we offer the highest quality of service and games in the video gaming industry, with unparalleled dedication and proven gaming knowledge. We are here to help you make your business successful. We provide the most efficient service possible, in addition to offering the newest games and upgrades as they become available to the market. You're always dealt a winning hand with Gold Rush Gaming. Reach out today and see what a difference the gold standard can make.
Hi, I'm Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. As a 20-year former pro athlete, I've had 6 sport-related surgeries. Believe me, I know pain. Through the years, I've tried every possible remedy with little results. 50 million Americans suffering from pain every day. Well, now you don't have to suffer anymore. It's a new pain relief product that is made with natural hemp extract and profoundly effective. Ecoderm, the Big Hurt Pain Cream.
To order Ecoderm, go to ecosciences.com or call 888-578-0012.